All right, my little black dress, my MAC red lipstick, my hair-sprayed hair. I got all gussied up for you. No, I actually didn't. I'm going to the symphony, but get ready with me, okay? All right, let's do this. You know, you can't just walk into a store anymore and buy a coffee maker. It takes hours. There are so many different kinds of coffee makers you can get. Now this one is kind of cruel. It says Faberware single serve coffee maker. Okay, I may be single, but I still have hope. I'm not buying that. Oh, today you cold outside. Can you believe all that snow? I'm trying to match my nail color to my lip color. Boy, this is no easy feat. I don't really see it, do you? Those birds out there, is that upsetting you? What happened to your bow tie? Why do you keep taking your bow tie off? Everybody, thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and Desi. And you said you were going to come back, and you did. I hope you had a good week. And I got a huge snowstorm here where I live, and I got to show you how pretty it is. But what I'm going to do today, yesterday I had a date and I went to the symphony, and as I was putting on my makeup, I filmed it. That's just a normal thing to do, right? Anyway, I thought, you know, I only do about one video a year on makeup and nobody watches it. I wonder why I don't. We mature women have certain issues that we deal with. We don't want to look cakey, and, you know, when we walk into a room, we don't want people to notice our makeup. We want people to notice us. So I want to share with you some of the things that I do to try to achieve a natural, comfortable look. And I can turn almost any, even a bad foundation, I can turn that into a pretty good foundation. So I want to share that with you. And the other thing I want to share with you is at the end of the video, I want to have a heart-to-heart talk about something that happened when I went back and saw a comment on an old video. So I'm so glad you're here, and I think we're going to have fun. We're going to talk about girl stuff, right? Makeup, hair, jewelry, a little black dress, you name it, we're going to talk about it. No, not really, but it sounds good. I'm pretty sure Winter stopped by today just to say hey. Hey. What are you doing? Are you following me? Are you? I think you're following me. What do you want? How about treats? You got a treat? How about a treat? I took out my ice roller yesterday and I rolled my face, and that does take down a lot of swelling. And I also use eye patches. I don't spend a lot of money on eye patches. I have used $40 eye patches and the $5 eye patches that I get at Ulta, and they're exactly the same. They both do nothing, but they just make me feel better. No, they do work a little bit, but you know, what can I say? But when it comes to foundation, I don't think that we have to spend a lot of money on some very high-end foundation. And I want to show you what I do. I love this method. I use it every single day and I never look cakey. I can touch my face and I don't have makeup on my fingers. And I actually think, you know, it does look a little bit better in person than it does. Okay, what I do is I will take any foundation. Now this is a very high-end foundation from Yves Saint Laurent that I love. And this is Fit Me from the drugstore. I swear these are the same foundation. I mean, they are such a nice shade for me. Okay, then I take my Halo Glow. Are you still with me? And then I take my pumpkin seed oil or my rosehip seed oil. And what I do is I will take just a, oh, that's even too much. You see, it's just a drop, just a little drop. All right, then I'm going to take my Halo Glow and I'm just going to run it right there, like that. There's amazing science to this. And then I'm going to take my foundation. Here we go. All right, so this is what I do every day. It's not rocket science, but it works for me and I love it. So I have a little bit of oil, I have a little bit of e.l.f. Halo Glow, and then I have my foundation. It can be high end, low end, no end, I don't know. And I'm just going to mix them all together. Now, I know most people have a nice little palette, glass palette, not me. I just have my hand. I'm going to soak this up right now on my Beauty Blender, but how I like to apply this little concoction is to just press it into my face. And there are days you don't have time to be pressing every inch of your face with your foundation, and I get that. But you can soak it in with your Beauty Blender. So there you go. And then you can just go over your face. The whole thing, it's not intrusive and it just gives you such a nice glow without it being too much. And you'll come back like 3 hours later and look at your skin and just go, wow, I can't believe it. Nothing is in my lines or my pores. And it just has such a pretty glow to it. So I think if you use that method, I think you'd really like it. Give it a try, see what happens. But I honestly think that with the oil, if you just use a tiny bit, it can turn any horrible, thick, dry foundation into something that you can be proud to wear and you'll look pretty. Yes, you will. When I do my videos every week, there are 2 questions that you ask me. And one is about how do I keep my eyeliner on for hours and hours without it transferring? And the other question you ask me is, what eyeshadow are you using? It looks kind of pink and it looks like you go to it a lot. And that's true, I do. For years and years, I struggled with my eyeliner transferring onto my lids. And no matter what kind of eyeliner I used, and I'd wait and let it dry for like an hour and it still would transfer. Finally, I realized I have to lightly powder my lids after I do my shadow and after I put on my eyeliner. I just need to lightly powder them. It never transfers. Your liner can't transfer if you powder your lids. Why didn't somebody tell me that 8 years ago when I was doing videos and I'd have a little, anyway. 90s makeup is coming back. So for all us gals born in the 40s and 50s, we are all set. But I love that look of that kind of smoky brown and then a rose gold lid. And I can get that with the Lemonade palette. I love that. That is my go-to. I also love this one by, this is Morphe and this is Cabernet Blush. This is all very, brown and rose gold, what I love. And this is the Born This Way. This is all nudes, and this is a nice, nice palette. If you have a special occasion and you want to go maybe a little bit more higher end, and they're very, very pigmented and beautiful to blend. You know who turned me on to that palette? Is Natalie the Beauty Diva. She was ahead of her time because she told me about 6 months ago to grab that palette, and I did, and she has never steered me wrong. Anytime I can get a palette that gives me that beautiful rich brown, subtle but rich, and then that rose gold lid, yeah, I like, that's my favorite palette. This right here is my Anastasia Blush Trio. I have used this for years. The reason I use it is because I can see it. I can actually see the pigment and it doesn't fade on me. It's the one thing that when I go to a drugstore and I pick up a blush, it just seems like it fades. And this one doesn't. So that is the one high-end splurge that I do. I do love my Anastasia blush. For my eyebrows, I use Browy Wowie. I don't spend a lot of time on my brows. I just don't. They're a bore. So I think I spend $4 on my brow pencil. And for powder, I love the Candid powder. And I do have the Hourglass Mineral Veil. This is really cute. You can pick up a little one like this for about $25 at Ulta. But I like the Candid better. Now this is very finely milled and it's wonderful, but this is a little drying for me. You know, if I put it underneath my eye, you know, from afar, it looks pretty good, but when you get close, it really does look dry. So I like the e.l.f. HD powder and I love the Candid powder. Another question that so many of you have asked me is, do you wear makeup every day? And I say like, yeah, I do. I mean, I don't go full glam makeup, you know, on Sunday afternoon to go to Walmart. Okay, maybe I do. But I love my go-to makeup products. They never let me down and I'm not surprised. I like to try new things, but I love the things that work for me. I'm 68 years old. I got every problem that you could imagine. I got sagging, I got wrinkles, I got pores that have zip codes, but I love what I use and it makes me feel pretty. And isn't that what it's all about?
It hurts just
yeah,
a little.
I think so.
Along with my friends and we drank till we're done. So I can't remember how it would feel to wake up in that bed right beside you. All of the memories I tried to erase just comes back when I'm sober. I see that face and it shivers. Nobody knows the way it shivers. Nobody knows because it shivers. It's cold and it's dark without you in my arms. Yeah, it shivers, it hurts.
I knew I was going to the symphony and I wanted something unique. And I wasn't wearing a boho dress at all, but I thought, wouldn't that be cool? Kind of a little black dress, but boho earrings and necklace. And I think I guessed right. This is one of my very favorites. And when I bought this off of Amazon, I saw that it was $18. And I thought, well, that's a really reasonable price for this beautiful necklace. And I put it on my own little gold chain. But then I looked in the box and there were 3 more necklaces just like this, only in different colors. And I about died. I thought, did they get my order wrong? I couldn't figure it out. So I got this really pretty opal. I got a red and a blue. And I know they're costume jewelry. And 4 necklaces for under $20. But in person, they really are beautiful. So I had to mention it. Not beautiful, but tonight I feel beautiful. The woman who wrote the book, The Jubilee Trail, her name is Gwen Bristow, and she has a quote that I just love. And the quote is, "You are not required to start over, but you are required to keep going." And I love that, and I live by that. Desi? What's wrong? Did those birdies out there bother you? Oh, there's a big squirrel out there you don't like. You don't like squirrels. They just bother you. How come? Yesterday, I was getting ready to go to the symphony, and I was filming myself putting on my makeup, and I thought, I'm going to do a get ready with me this week. Oh, yeah, right. You know, that never works out. So I went back to a video I did 7 years ago because it said face of the day. And I thought, well, that's cool. What did I look like doing a get ready with me 7 years ago? So I start watching the video, and then underneath there's a comment that says, why bother? You're old. You're too old for makeup. Nothing's going to help you now. That was 7 years ago. Whoever wrote that comment, are you still out there? Let me know. So I kept watching the video, and I was doing my $17 face from Dollar General. And the reason I was doing that was because I had 20 bucks in my pocket, and that's all I could spend on makeup. And there I sat, not a whole lot of skill with my $125 camera. And it was blurry, and I'm putting on my makeup, and I'm trying to do the best I can. But you know what? I was happy. I was happy because I felt pretty. I was happy because I was talking to you. I felt like a princess. I wasn't thinking, okay, I spent $17 on all this makeup when other ladies are doing videos and they're showing palettes that are $60, $70. But I don't care. So I'm doing my makeup, and I'm showing you how I'm putting on all this really bad makeup. And at the end, I look at the camera and I go, whew, I'm glad that's over. And there was such an amazing moment of pure honesty. And I felt good that I could be that honest and say, yeah, I know this makeup isn't very good, and I know I don't have a lot of skill, but here I am. At the Dollar General, I bought 3 of these matte LA Color eyeshadows. I can't tell you how glad I am that's over. You know, that old video, at the end of the video, I'm talking about this book. This book is called the Jubilee Trail. And my friend Jeanie, who has a channel, and I will link it below, she is an angel that walks this earth. And Jeanie has a very soft, soothing voice. And I have a soft voice too. I don't know how soothing it is, but it's soft. And we have always said that we belong to the Tiny Voice Club, and we're always looking for members. And we both were kind of bullied as children about our tiny voice, even from teachers that would say, I can't hear you, speak up. And I would just want to die when they would say that. But I was told at a very young age, you keep your voice down. You be ladylike. A loud voice in a firm manner is not ladylike. So you keep your voice down. And I did. And for the majority of my life, I kept my voice down. And it's funny because sometimes I will get comments like, gosh, you know, your voice is so soft. You talk like a baby, you know. And it's like, yeah, well, join the club. I belong to the Tiny Voice Club. But, you know, in the end, my voice, my firmness, my resolve, my strength has nothing to do with being ladylike. And I guess I got my revenge because here I am sitting in front of a camera and I'm talking and loving every second of it with my tiny little voice. But for those that say, Why do makeup videos at all? What does it matter? That isn't what life is about. Yeah, I get that. But anything that makes me feel like $1,000,000, anything that makes me feel pretty inside, playing with makeup, I'm still that girl in her room playing records and dreaming of what my life might be. And even at my age, I'm playing with my shadow and my lipstick, and I'm dreaming what my life could be. So, yeah. The Jubilee Trail. Have you read it? I think I'm going to start it tonight. Yeah. Never required to start over, but we are required to carry on. Expensive makeup in the world isn't going to make me feel pretty. The best haircut and the most beautiful hair color, that's not going to make me feel pretty. If I'm 118 pounds, I'm not going to feel pretty. If I don't feel that I have value inside, if everything I do goes back to I'm too old, I'm just too old to bother, then why should I bother? Go back and I chose the black necklace to wear tonight. It looks very, I don't know, I love that deep onyx type feel to this necklace, and I thought it just went really nice with the dress and with the occasion and with my bow. I have a bow. Well, actually I have some Christmas bow if you really want to know. Anyway. Please have yourself a wonderful, happy, safe, brand new week. And when you're done with your week, come back and see me and Desi, okay? All right, it's a deal. We'll always be here. I'm not really beautiful, she said to herself, but I feel beautiful tonight. And I look like a girl that feels beautiful tonight. Yeah. Have you ever read The Jubilee Trail? This is by Gwen Bristow. Oh, where am I? Am I in the palace? Am I at the palace?